2 Super Bowl victories changed everything we thought we knew about greatness, legacy, and what it means to be Hall of Fame worthy. Eli Manning defeated the greatest dynasty in NFL history twice on the biggest stage, yet he's been passed over for the Pro Football Hall of Fame 2 years running. The debate surrounding Manning's Hall of Fame candidacy has become one of the most heated discussions in recent memory. Hall of Fame voter Gary Myers revealed that other than the Terrell Owens conversation that went on for 3 years, this was the most contentious discussion he'd ever been part of. The question isn't whether Manning had great moments. It's whether great moments make a great career. Let's start with the numbers because they paint a fascinating picture. Over 16 seasons, Manning threw for 57,023 yards and 366 touchdowns, ranking 11th all-time in both categories. He started 234 games, missing virtually no time due to injury, and maintained a consecutive start streak of 210 games, the second longest by a quarterback in NFL history behind Brett Favre. These aren't just good numbers, they're exceptional numbers that place him among the most productive quarterbacks ever. But here's where things get tricky. Manning's career record was exactly 117, perfectly average. He made 4 Pro Bowls in 16 seasons and never earned a single All-Pro selection, first or second team. While his contemporaries like Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, and Aaron Rodgers were regularly discussed as the elite quarterbacks of their era, Eli was rarely mentioned in that conversation. The case for Manning rests almost entirely on 2 magical playoff runs that produced the most unlikely Super Bowl victories in NFL history. In 2007, Manning led a wild-card Giants team against an 18-0 New England Patriots squad that many considered the greatest team ever assembled. The Patriots had steamrolled through the regular season, outscoring opponents by margins that hadn't been seen in decades. They had Tom Brady, Randy Moss, Wes Welker, and a defense that could flip the switch when needed. What happened next defied all logic. Manning, playing behind a patchwork offensive line, somehow escaped what looked like certain sacks, found receivers in impossible coverage, and authored one of the greatest upsets in sports history. The helmet catch by David Tyree became iconic not just for its improbability, but for what it represented. A moment when preparation met opportunity and changed the trajectory of NFL history. 4 years later, Manning did it again. The 2011 Giants were even more unlikely champions, sneaking into the playoffs and somehow finding another gear when it mattered most. Manning threw for 1,219 yards in that postseason, the most in a single playoff run at the time. In Super Bowl 46, he started by completing his first 9 passes, setting a Super Bowl record, and finished with 296 yards and a touchdown in another victory over the Patriots dynasty. These weren't just wins, they were statements. Manning proved he could perform under the ultimate pressure against the ultimate competition. He joined exclusive company as one of only 6 players with multiple Super Bowl MVP awards, alongside Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, Joe Montana, Bart Starr, and Terry Bradshaw. Every other name on that list is either already in the Hall of Fame or destined for it. The clutch factor runs deeper than just those 2 Super Bowl runs. Manning threw 44 game-tying or go-ahead touchdowns in the fourth quarter or overtime during his career. In road playoff games, where most quarterbacks struggle, Manning went 5-2, including victories at Lambeau Field against both Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers, the only quarterback to beat both legendary Packers quarterbacks in the playoffs at their home stadium. Yet the arguments against Manning are equally compelling. Critics point out that while he had Hall of Fame moments, he didn't have a Hall of Fame career. His average ranking and passer rating was 19th during his playing years. He led the league in interceptions 3 times and finished with 244 picks against 366 touchdowns, a ratio that reflects his inconsistent decision-making throughout his career. The organizational context matters too. Manning's record in his first 8 seasons was 69-50, a healthy 58% winning percentage. The next 8 seasons saw him go 48-66, but that decline coincided with the systematic dismantling of the championship infrastructure around him. General manager Jerry Reese's roster decisions left Manning with inadequate protection and limited weapons for much of the latter half of his career. The comparison to other Hall of Fame quarterbacks becomes murky when you dig deeper. Joe Namath entered the Hall of Fame with a losing record and similar statistical limitations. His average rank and passer rating was 17th compared to Manning's 19th. Namath's credentials rested largely on the guarantee in Super Bowl III, one iconic moment that changed the trajectory of professional football. If one Super Bowl upset can justify Hall of Fame induction, what do 2 such upsets mean? Consider the company Manning keeps among quarterbacks with multiple Super Bowl victories. 13 starting quarterbacks have won 2 or more Super Bowls. 11 are eligible for the Hall of Fame, 10 are already enshrined. Manning and Jim Plunkett are the only two exceptions, and Plunkett's case differs significantly. He was a career backup who happened to start for 2 championship teams. The durability factor can't be overstated. Manning never missed a game due to injury during his prime years. From November 2004 through November 2017, he answered the bell 210 consecutive times. In an era when quarterback injuries have become increasingly common, Manning's availability was itself a form of greatness. You can't help your team if you're not on the field. The draft day drama of 2004 adds another layer to Manning's legacy. His refusal to play for the San Diego Chargers was controversial at the time and remains so today. Manning later explained that he was concerned about the organization's instability and their handling of previous quarterback Ryan Leaf's personal problems. The trade that sent him to New York changed the trajectory of 2 franchises and arguably the entire NFL landscape. What we're really debating isn't Manning's talent or his achievements. It's how we define greatness. Is the Hall of Fame reserved for players who dominated their era, or does it include those who rose to meet the biggest moments regardless of their day-to-day performance? Manning was never the best quarterback in the league for any sustained period, but when the stakes were highest, he performed at a level that very few have ever reached. The voting process has been revealing. Bill Belichick, the coach Manning defeated twice, publicly endorsed his Hall of Fame candidacy, saying, "Eli, you don't look that good in a hoodie, but you will look great in a gold jacket." Kurt Warner, himself a Hall of Famer, believes Eli's time will come. The support from peers and opponents suggests that those who competed against Manning recognized something in his career that pure statistics might not capture. Manning himself has remained characteristically low-key about the snubs. "It doesn't keep me up at night," he told John Gruden. "I'm not gonna be bitter at it. I'm not bitter at the game of football." This response is quintessentially Eli. Understated, gracious, and focused on the bigger picture rather than personal accolades. The 2026 class presents new challenges for Manning's candidacy. Drew Brees, a statistical monster with a Super Bowl victory, enters his first year of eligibility. Larry Fitzgerald, Jason Witten, Frank Gore, and Phillip Rivers, Manning's draft day trade partner, also become eligible. The competition for limited spots will be fierce. Perhaps the most telling argument for Manning comes from this simple question: can you tell the story of the NFL without him? The answer is clearly no. Those 2 Super Bowl victories didn't just define Manning's career, they defined an era. They proved that dynasties aren't inevitable, that greatness can emerge from unlikely places, and that the biggest games sometimes produce the most unexpected heroes. Whether Eli Manning belongs in the Hall of Fame ultimately depends on how we value peak performance versus sustained excellence, clutch moments versus consistent production, and narrative impact versus statistical dominance. What's undeniable is that for 2 perfect February nights, Manning was exactly what a Hall of Fame quarterback should be, unbeatable when it mattered most.